And we are here for a special World Cup preview of the False 9. I'm here with co-host Buddy. Say hi, Buddy. Ooh, that's a shout out right there. Yeah. And we got a special third co-host for the special edition, VD. What's up, buddy?
How we doing? Happy to be here. I will mention my Wolves are about to play. The Canes are on. I pushed all that aside because I miss Buddy that much.
Wow.
I don't get to interact with Buddy that much. You know, I used to take joy in Manchester United losing, and now every time they lose, I feel bad because I feel like Buddy only deserves joy in his life, and they don't give it to him. So I'm very happy to be here. Very happy to be here. David's all right too.
Yeah, I can always look forward to that. To that, like Buddy doesn't deserve that tweet. You know,
he doesn't deserve.
I mean, hey, listen, you know what, Buddy? You have a guy like VD in your corner like that. I mean, what's better than that, man? Honestly,
he's the best.
He's the best. All right, boys. So let's get into it. We're doing a World Cup preview. We haven't done a False 9 in a while. Me and Buddy wanted to, World Cup is huge. It's coming in. It's going to be in November. It's a weird time. I do want to get into some I want people that are casuals that might be picking up just to watch the World Cup and are being like, why isn't the USA won? Why doesn't the USA win? And things like that. I want to go over some just history of the World Cup and how hard it is to win. Only 8 countries have ever won the World Cup. It's been going on since 1930. It stopped for twice for World War II. So there was a couple of tournaments missed. But other than that, since 1930, only 8 countries have won. Here's a stat that might shock you guys. From 1954 to 1998, only 4 countries won a World Cup. So basically, I consider that the modern era. That's when they started doing more than just 8 teams, because the first few tournaments were only 8 teams. Like Uruguay won the first tournament in 1930 and then won again in 1950. Only 8 teams in those tournaments. So I almost don't want to count that, but, whatever. We're going to count that. So, but from 1954 to 1998, 4 countries won. VD or Buddy, can you name those 4 countries?
Brazil.
Yeah.
France.
France, Argentina.
No. Italy, yes. Argentina, yes, Buddy.
Who do we got to know on?
So France, you got to know. You got to know.
Oh, France is 98.
98 is when they won it. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
Oh,
from that point of time, it was VD. How did you miss this, Buddy? England.
Yeah,
66. Wow, yeah.
66. All right.
Yeah.
So it was Brazil, Argentina, Germany, and England that won.
The goalie only had one eye. The English goalie. Did you know that? Like he was blind in one eye. Yeah.
And he won a World Cup. What the fuck are we doing?
Depth perception. Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's how difficult it is to win the World Cup. Now, since '98, France VD has won twice. Spain was led into the club, and that's it. So eight countries have won. So when you have countries with deep football history, Holland, Portugal, Mexico, other countries have been playing forever. England only won once, invented the fucking sport. So when you say, "Hey, why does the USA win?" Portugal. I said Portugal.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So it's very difficult to win, and I don't know why, but when you get into these tournaments, it's like those countries have a stranglehold on it. So how weird is it that Italy isn't here? That's number one. I always find it shocking them not making the World Cup with 32 teams, by the way.
And they're the European champions too, right? So that kind of to me was the biggest surprise. I thought coming off of that, winning that tournament, how came down to PKs, right? Yeah, all the way down to PKs in England, right? Ooh,
yep.
Sorry.
Sorry, VD.
Sorry, VD.
It's okay.
But I thought that was honestly the biggest surprise. I can't believe coming off of that they can't beat their winning their group. I don't know. It's just dumbfounding. But,
I have a theory about Italy where it's I think just knowing Italian people, I have a brother that lived in Italy for a little while. I think anytime after they have success, they're just fuck it, we'll take the next tournament off. They're big on
we're just gonna party.
Yeah, they're not dogs. That's not their mentality. They're very much take it easy people, and they're amazing players. I don't have the data to back this up, but I bet if you went back and looked at Italy teams after they had really successful runs, I guarantee you they come out flat for the next tournament every time. It's just the Italian way, I think, honestly. But they should be embarrassed.
Yeah, I agree with 32 teams, like the way that they play. But I'll tell you what, I'm glad they're gone. They scare the fuck out of me in tournaments, no matter what they look like going in. They
They're the
just like
perfect tournament team. They're the perfect tournament
thank
team.
you. They are,
cut,
man.
They cut the game in half. They just cut like even that final. That was such an ugly game. Like no one really deserved to win that game.
They're the perfect tournament team, but they're the worst team to watch. Like they just ruin everything.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into like what do we think it being in wintertime? So or being around the holidays. I at first was like, this fucking sucks. Like and this summer I missed it. Because here's the thing, man. All it is baseball here in the summertime. So like I really miss not having like my 11 a.m. World Cup. Like I should been watching the tournaments and these games. Now I'm kind of like, man, Thanksgiving morning, waking up and watching Portugal, that's gonna be pretty fucking awesome. You know what I mean? Watching a World Cup game before Turkey and NFL kicks off, like that's gonna be really fucking cool. And Friday, Black Friday, USA England, 2:00, Eastern time. That's looking to be pretty cool. But the rest of it, I almost feel like sensory overload. Like we have college basketball, college football, NBA, NHL, like every sport right now in the States is going on at the same time as this tournament. So like, what's your thoughts on that? Like VD and Buddy, like as far as like looking forward to it, does it feel weird?
It definitely feels weird. I don't know if I'm the only one who still doesn't even feel like the World Cup's about to happen. Like my brain knows it, but my body, like even till I think I'm halfway through watching the first game, I'm gonna be like, holy shit, I guess it's World Cup time. So yeah, my body clock is definitely off, but I mean, the cream rises to the top. There's a lot going on, but I'm gonna be watching these World Cup games, The
kickoff times are great. The kickoff
times are pretty good, even on the West Coast. I don't know. There's no bigger moment to me, really. It's every 4 years. Like people used to get excited for the Olympics, but no one. Maybe that's just because I was a kid. The Olympics don't really mean anything anymore.
Nope.
The World Cup is like what other event like it is there? It's global. I think it's going to be interesting that it's in Qatar. I think the desert is going to come into play with a lot of these teams. I think we talked about this on the last preview. It's like I'm giving an extra advantage to any of like the African teams. Middle East home field turf is going to be big. Some of these like European countries that are becoming to summer in the Middle East. I mean, it's going to be intense.
Yeah. But no, I agree. I like for me, they're like I agree with VD where nothing is bigger than the World Cup. Like they're. Like as long as as long as United's not playing, like there's nothing more important to me. Like so, it's just United over country. But like
club over country. I'm a club over country guy too.
But like but it being in November like that to me, like I think it creates like an interesting dynamic where like okay, like David said, maybe we're not ready for it, but like everybody's in form now, or like the guys who like we expect to be in form are. Like it's maybe gonna be like the best played, like or it could be like the best play like World Cup, but at the like the Middle Eastern thing like throws like a wrench in it because it's just gonna be like something most of these people have never imagined. Like they moved it 6 months and they still need like inside air conditioners and everything we've always we talked about last time, but
so yeah, buddy, to hop on your point, like I do think it not being at the end of the year where guys have dead legs, like they're in mid-season form right now.
Yeah.
So like that could play into it being like a well-played fucking tournament, even though obviously they don't play together. But a lot of times you get to the World Cup and these guys are just fucking, they're dead. They're on dead legs, They're trying to get through. And VD, to your point, the Olympics, you know what makes this so cool, man? I don't know if I'm sure you saw the videos, buddy. Like a guy like Anthony, for Brazil. Mm-hmm. When they announced the Brazil World Cup squad, and he's watching it on TV with like his brothers and shit live, not knowing if he made the fucking team, which is wild to me, Mm-hmm. And these millionaires, there's nothing else that goes on where millionaire athletes get so excited to go play for free. This is the only thing now where this happens. Like you said, Olympics, USA basketball, those guys don't get like whatever excited. Like they'll go play just because like these guys are the guys that got left off the team for these countries are devastated. Like they're calling out the coaches. Like you know what I mean? Like these guys make all this money and they're gonna go play for free. They're gonna take time off, basically play for free because of patriotism. This is the only tournament that still happens.
It's hard to argue. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful game, dude.
It's fucking beautiful, dude. I'm excited.
And you think about like what it means to them, and also just the opportunity. Like if you get hot during the World Cup, you know you're a young player or you're a veteran player. It's your last World Cup, and you score like a big, meaningful goal. I mean, you're immortalized. You're
immortalized.
It changes your life.
Mario Götze could never kick another ball, and he'll could have never kicked another ball, and there'll be nobody like him in Germany. Like, but
yep.
You know, it is.
So speaking of that, what's your thoughts? I know we're going to bring guests on to talk specific countries, but I mean, Messi's already announced it's his last one. Buddy doesn't think Ronaldo will ever stop playing. So, I mean, you're right.
I think it could not be his last one. Like it could.
They're going to have to kick him off. They're going to have to.
They are. Yeah. He's not going to do it on his own. That's 1,000%. But I mean, in all intents and purposes, it'll be his last one where he's like a starter and like, you know, the guy.
That's a problem if he's the guy. We'll ask Josh about it in 2 minutes.
Yeah. But not the guy, but you know what I mean? Like the talesman, the starter, you know, the captain. So, like, do you think either of those guys have a moment, VD? Do you think either of those guys, like, has that? Like, that would be magical for me. Either one of them, to be honest.
I think they likely both will. I mean, they're that good. It's just like, you know, when you're watching players that good, it's like, when Tom Brady gets the ball with a minute left, you just know before it happens he's going to score. It's just like, you know, the moment's going to come.
No matter how bad they've been, right?
No matter how bad they've been. I think they both get a moment for sure. And
like, even though this is the biggest moment, you know, the moment will never be too bright for them. Like, so like they'll be able to control their emotions if they have to, or we think that they'll be able to. But I agree with VD. Like, I think, like, especially Ronaldo, like last World Cup, and he starts out with a hat trick. Like, so that was a moment. I mean, to expect him to do that again, of course, is like ludicrous. But I think for sure Ronaldo has one, and like people give Messi like a lot of guff for like his Argentina record, but he's still maybe the greatest player of all time. Argentina the number 2 or number 3 betting favorite right now. So they're a tournament pre-favorite going in. Yeah. I was surprised when I saw it. Like I looked quick to like know what Montante was going to say, but I was surprised when I saw that.
I was too, to be honest with you. Yeah, I was surprised with that. They were either dead heat with France or like right behind France for odds. It's Brazil, France, Argentina, if I'm not mistaken.
There's probably a lot of suckers that take Argentina, just casuals that just know Messi. I just want to bet on Messi's team.
That's kind of what I thought a little bit, honestly, seeing England up so high. Like, even though they championship, but like I was like, I bet you there's just these like English drunks dude just throwing like hundreds on it, like just because
delusion, a high level of delusion in the fan base. Yeah, until like 20 minutes in the first match, and then they just melt.
And then they want everyone gone. They want everyone gone. It's everyone. God, it's great.
England wins one. They pretend like it never happened.
Yeah, it's the best fan base. It's fucking. I love it. I love that fan base. Buddy, do you want to bring on our first guest? Is he in the back up there? Joshy.
Yo, what's up, boys? I was here.
What's up, Josh?
How you doing?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing all right. I was listening. I could hear you guys for a couple of minutes. I don't know if you guys knew I was here, but so I'm the first guest. Is that right?
Yeah. So we're gonna have Josh on. I want to get into Portugal, Josh. So Portugal's group. I want to like talk about number one. I don't know if you heard us like the Ronaldo talk. Yeah. So I guess that's the biggest question. Would Fernando Santos? I think the question for you is this: if he's not playing well, it's 70 minutes in. It's a 0-0 game. Does he have the stones after what's going on at United? He's already. I think him not playing starting at United might give them an out. Would he have the stones to take him off?
And like, at what minute are we talking about? Any moment?
Let's say it's 70th minute. It's 0-0. Portugal's not 1-1. You know, game one. Game one or game two. VD. Yeah.
I think he would because by him bringing Ramos and Andre Silva, I think shows us that he's bringing multiple strikers to. Because we might need him if Ronaldo's not in his best, in his top form, especially if he's not scoring, kind of bitching and, ruining the vibe of the other team or the rest of the team or whatever it may be. Because, if he's not scoring, he's going to be upset and mad. And how the other players take that is what's, I think the difference between Portugal and Man U, but that's a whole nother topic. But from him to bring 2 strikers, I think so. And Andre Silva, I actually saw today, has 14 goals and assists this year in like 24 games, so he actually hasn't been that bad.
Do you think, like, I had this thought today? Do you think there's a chance Ronaldo like rises up and like is just like never mind like getting taken off, but like it's just like that like a great like teammate like in this tournament, which like he is, he obviously
I
like
hope
kind of
so.
isn't. You know, like he doesn't always do that. So I just had that thought today of him just being like the perfect like striker, like that Ten Hag wants kind of, you know, but for Portugal and just getting everybody in the play.
Well, if you think about it, in the Euros, right, in the PKs, that was when he got hurt, he was like coaching and kind of bringing the good vibes to the team because he knew he couldn't play. So I don't know. I actually hope he has a great tournament because of how kind of bad form he's been in now. A lot of people downplaying him. It's just how quick people forget who he was. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't no average player. He wasn't not even close to that. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the arguably the greatest to ever do it, but like he's going into this tournament in a spot where he's been hated on, made fun of, like picked on in a way, and that's kind of, I think, a good thing maybe for Portugal because what better stage in the World Cup to like shut up some haters?
I see a lot of Ronaldo slander on my timeline. That's all I'll say. I see a lot.
This is maybe like his lowest stature going into a World Cup, like the lowest anybody's ever thought of him. You know, and like he's somebody who wants to move on from United. Like it's not surprising me if he scores 6 goals this tournament, you know, then gets a move in January and is like just kills it for a year and a half again, you know.
1000%. My biggest worry is that like if he's not playing well, gets taken off, it kills. What I mean about it, if he won't take him off, is because if you do, does he ruin the rest of the tournament? Like, you know what I mean? Is he an asshole? Is if he takes it the wrong way? That's my biggest worry. I think with this team is just Ronaldo is feeding the ego, and now if he gets off to a good start, scores a goal, this is all fucking mute, right? Like it's all good. You know, my biggest worry is like a 0-0 70th minute first fucking game. You know,
and that's something to look at. We're gonna find out. But like, what if he turns into that player where he scores in like the 35th minute and he still comes off at the 60th minute? Like you did your thing, you got your goal, you got your confidence. You could.
I think he takes it. I think he takes it better. Yeah.
Now you can come off like, bro, you already got your goal. We have some other players. We had some injuries, and maybe that will help him because he's definitely not a 90-minute full-time player.
Yeah.
That's my biggest issue. He's not 90 minutes anymore. He's just not. Like,
especially when you're trying to protect the lead. I feel like if you get up 1-0 and he's kind of got to try to do that press thing, like it doesn't work, and it only hurts you guys.
Yeah, I think he's mature enough to understand that and deal with that. But my biggest thing with Portugal is our coach maybe having too many options and kind of that fucking him up. I actually think that might be the biggest issue because at left back we have Rafael Guerreiro and we have Nuno Mendes, and he's got to pick the right one. You know what I mean?
So who do you like there?
Dude, I have a new answer like every other hour. I actually would go with Rafael maybe right now because he's got.
I think he trusts him the most. He trusts him the most,
and he's not bad, dude.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you guys watched the Napoli game today, but we have Mario Rui today. He was probably one of their best players all game, and he's not even coming. So
yeah.
It's like a good problem that we have, but it isn't because our coach is just an old man, and I'm not sure if he's able to do it.
So I think I have a couple questions really quick on omissions with Portugal, Josh.
Yeah.
Were there anything that was glaring that I've left off the team? Was there something that jumped out at you? I have a couple that I have questions on, but was there something that jumped out at you?
Well, obviously Ronaldo not playing was the biggest one because he won the Golden Boy trophy.
Renato Sanchez, yeah.
Renato Sanchez, yeah, and he was a great player for us at the Euros again in 2016. Don't forget that goal he scored when he came in as a sub
against Hungary.
Yeah, well, in Poland when he scored that left-footed shot that like deflected off of the defender's chest. When that goal went in, it changed our whole tournament. We're like, wow, we might win this thing. Like, it was a knockout game. It was like, all right, we actually might fucking win this thing because he just like brought energy off the bench. He could actually be starting for us. And then now he's not even going.
So who would you have taken off for him? I guess is my question then, if we're doing that.
You know, obviously for people that don't know, I love Benfica, but João Mario kind of making it was like, wow, he had such a good couple 3 months of the year. But what will he offer to the national team that we? I
agree. I think Sanchez could do more in that midfield than João Mario would do.
Him. And maybe Otavio, but that's about it. But I can also see why them two are going too, because they're playing great right now. They start every game. They're playing in the Champions League, and they're doing well in the Champions League, scoring goals. Like Joe Marti, whether you like him or not, is actually doing really good right now, and it's fucking crazy. And he's taking our PKs for Benfica, scoring some monster PKs and big pressure moments. And you're just like, well, how do you not bring him? You know what I'm saying? And I guess
form matters too.
Absolutely. Well, some of these coaches say it matters, and then it doesn't. Like, I don't know if you guys talked about England, but like he loves to talk about form. Harry Maguire isn't in form, and he's still going and probably going to start. So
all right, let's let VD go there. I want VD to talk about that. That's crazy. Harry Maguire is crazy. I'm glad you brought that up. VD, you give me thoughts there, bud. You're on mute.
He plays well for England. I mean, it's just a weird thing. I'm not going to sit here and defend Harry Maguire by any means. But if you look at the Euros, I mean, he plays well for England. He scored a big goal. Like, there's a difference between playing for your club and playing for your country. There's a difference between league play and tournament play.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and defend Harry Maguire, but I think I'd probably bring him, and I'm not going to.
Does he start? Do you guys think he starts, buddy?
I think if he keeps the same formation that he used at like the Euros, then he does. But I know Southgate kind of is like switch to a 4 like every once in a while. But like if he plays 3 center backs, how does he not?
He ain't gonna switch to a 4. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think he starts.
I think he starts.
That's so wild.
I don't actually think it's that like I know what you mean.
No, I'm just so really quick. So Ronaldo and Maguire, who don't kick on the field for United, are both going to be like the captains for their country. That is a wild. Yeah. That's crazy to me. So Josh, really quick, I want to stay on Portugal because I want to bring in our other guests. So I want to do something real quick. Who's your biggest threat in the group? Josh, who do you think's the biggest? I think it's a well-rounded group, by the way. It's a tough group. Sneaky tough group.
I think it's Uruguay, no doubt about that. And they already beat us in the knockout stages last year, so they kind of have our number. And that game, they took it to us. They're just ferocious.
And so many Uruguayans have played in Portugal. That they know our style of play very well.
Yeah, and Darwin just scored 2 goals today. You got Valverde scoring as a midfielder, but he can play there. He can do this. They have a midfielder from Sporting named Ugarte, young little bulldog in the midfield. He's actually a pretty good player. He's going to leave and probably go to a big club. They have, dude, you name it. The Godin, Jimenez, Coates on Sporting defender. They have Arujo, Barcelona defender. They're nasty. And they have the experience.
You know what scares the fuck out of me? You know what scares me? Korea. I just have bad thoughts of like
the Asians. Always.
They do, man. They do because like you don't know any of the names, but they all just they play so fucking hard, dude. Like they do not stop. And I have just bad memories of 2002. Josh can tell you, that Figu team going to South Korea, getting their ass handed to them. I have bad memories, man. Bad memories.
All it takes is one ball slid in and Heung-min Son's running at you, dude.
Absolutely, dude. Even with that face mask, dude, that dude's that's a sniper right there. That team scares me to death.
I have a question for Josh. Now, would a Portugal loss hurt less if your boy Darwin has like a hat trick? Is a little part of you gonna be cheering? You're gonna be on Twitter saying, "I told you, Darwin.
I told you, Darwin's special." That's Josh's favorite team. Darwin's special.
I'm starting to think he might like Darwin more than Portugal. That's all.
There's certain players at that level I would root for you, and maybe like Luka Modric on Croatia. I would generally care for his success, but everyone else can fuck themselves. And Uruguay already beat us, so yeah, not now, not today. And it's only one game.
So if he plays
so far,
if he plays great, if he scores a hat trick against Portugal, you're not going to be on Twitter saying, "I told you Nunez is."
I'll be like, "I told you guys." Yeah.
Okay.
It's just crazy how the media see who they want to pick on the most and just keep picking on them. But at the end of the day, they do it to Ronaldo right now, and it's kind of fucked up. Yeah, he deserves a little bit of it because he hasn't been great, but it's just like, what are you gonna do? It's just hopefully you're on the right side of the troll in that day. You never know. But
yeah.
All right, so really quick, Josh, and then we're gonna let you go. Any breakout players for Portugal? Any like bold predictions? that you got? And does Portugal get out of the group? I guess is the biggest thing. Does Portugal get out of this group?
I hope so. And the biggest thing, we have to win this group, because if we don't win this group, we will essentially play Brazil if they win their group next round, which is absolutely brutal. You know what I'm saying?
That's brutal.
Even if we get out, we would have to play Brazil if they win their group first round.
So I did not know that. So winning the group is essential. Essential. You don't want to see Brazil in the round of 16.
If we can win the group, I actually played it out some scenarios, but if we win the group, we stay on the right side of the bracket where we could play Serbia or like Switzerland if they finish in second. If we don't win the group, we're most likely going to play Brazil in the first round. And if that happens, if we beat Brazil, we would have to play either Germany and possibly Belgium, or Spain.
Jesus Christ.
Or Spain, possibly Belgium, before we even get to the fucking semifinals.
Semifinals, yeah.
So it's like,
so Portugal has a road of death if they finish second in the group. It's a road of death.
Especially teams like Brazil and Germany, who most likely will have our number. Yeah, I can't do that. But, people sleep on Ghana too, who are in our group that they got Lamptey, that right back from Brighton. Yep. He's from Ghana. They got Inaki Williams from Athletic Bilbao. That kid's a fucking great player. He's got like an insane stat. He's played in like 300 straight games, never been hurt. And then like it stopped like this year, which was nuts. And his brother Nico Williams is another player. They got like 4 or 5 new players for Ghana that normally wouldn't be playing for Ghana. They just literally switched over. So they definitely
the problem with Ghana is they dominate the youth tournaments because the 32-year-olds are pretend to be 18. Now now the problem is, Josh, these guys are all 50 years old, and then they get to the regular tournament. No, in all seriousness, though, I feel like I know what you're saying. I feel like Portugal usually handles the African teams, though. Like for some reason, it's the Asian teams with Portugal that scare the fuck out of me. So that's my opinion there.
The desert throws a wild card into it, though.
Yes, VD.
The desert throws a wild card into that.
Yeah, and the deeper teams, players are gonna be tired, maybe dehydrated, getting cramps. Whoever has a deeper team, especially with all the injuries that have happened leading up to this World Cup, is only gonna help those teams. So like a team like South Korea. If they lose a big midfielder, they probably don't have a really good backup that can fill that role. If we lose Ruben Neves, we have Paulinho, and we're ready to fucking go. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge advantage for us because we have depth, we have some experience, and I think our goalie is the player to look out for.
There it is.
You have to say, Diego Costa is like unbelievable. I don't even want to hype him up.
Best move Fernando Santos has made in the last year because I killed it at first. And I'm eating my words. The kid is a fucking beast.
And, dude, he saved like 4 PKs in a row. First goalie ever to save a PK and assist in the same game. It was fucking – the kid is, I think, going to be one of the best keepers in the world very, very soon.
So that's your breakout – that could be your breakout player for Portugal this tournament where the world starts to get to know his name.
Yeah, and they should already because he's been doing this in the Champions League. Like a team like Man United, I would love to see him actually go there. That'd be a great fit. I would love it, but he is to me the next guy. He's like a brick wall back there. And if there's a PK, like he's saving them at like 60% rate right now. It's like it's unheard of.
And in tournament soccer, PKs, man. PKs.
If we go to PKs, we'll have him in net for 5 possible shots versus us. We're pretty good at penalties, and with him in net, we might do it, dude. Just going straight PKs in the knockout stage and going to the final. I don't give a fuck. As long as we do it, I'll take it.
All right, Josh. Well, thank you for coming on, man. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, brother.
You too, guys. Thank you for having me. Later.
Later, Josh.
All right, boys. So we got the Portugal perspective there, and Josh touched a little on England too. So I did enjoy that with Harry Maguire. That's I'm shocked. I knew he would make the team. I'm still shocked that you guys are telling me he's going to start. That's actually very surprising to me.
I'm surprised you don't get it.
I mean, he's been so bad, dude. Like so bad.
But has he? Like, has he been like that bad this year? Like, okay, he lost his spot, but the games he's played since he got hurt, for England, he's fresh.
He's been fine. Southgate's probably happy he hasn't been playing. He's fresh.
Well, so deep down, that's kind of what I'm excited about Ronaldo. Is he's fresh as fuck, right? Like if he's gonna make it through this tournament, as fresh as he's gonna be. Yeah. Buddy, do we have another guest in waiting or?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Been here 45 minutes.
Listening
to 4 morons ramble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's
a buddy. Good to see you. Not depressed. Good to see you.
Yeah, how you doing?
Let's see you take your own life. It's good. You are gonna wait till after the World Cup? Let's see how the World Cup goes. Then maybe we'll snatch our own life.
if USA wins the World Cup, I might do it.
It's a reasonable.
I won't believe it.
Oh man! All right, so Mike, you are going to be our gambling World Cup guy here. So I gave you a task to come up with some like group winners, some long shots, some short shots, and then we'll kind of react. So when you were looking at this stuff, what's the first thing that jumped out to you? Any lines that caught your eye?
Yeah, so it's a little contradictory because I don't like going chalk here, but right from the jump, I just think
the data shows that you should absolutely go chalk in the World Cup. As my guy Daver said in the intro. But go ahead.
Let me try to get a full sentence in here, VD. Appreciate you. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think what Montanti probably thinks here is like, all right, I'll say it for myself. Thank you, Vigilant David. Appreciate you as always. Brazil just has the most talent, and there's something about that climate. It's not exactly the same thing as being grown up in a hot, humid jungle and playing in the middle of the desert. But a lot of these European teams are gonna be fucking cooked. They're gonna want to be playing like little league. Maybe 35-minute games. The games are going 90 plus. So Brazil's gonna have the edge as always, talent wise, and probably stamina wise too a little bit. So I like Brazil plus 450. But then if you're gonna hedge against that, and there's a lot, obviously a lot of Portuguese American here, I kind of like the World Cup winner to be a first-time winner, plus 220. That's going to give you a handful of teams like USA, Portugal, Mexico, Croatia, the Dutch, and Belgium. So you get that plus 220 to kind of pair with your favorite like Brazil. I think it's a very, very hard to lose both of those.
I like that's that. What's the Belgium odds? That's my like dark horse like sort of. I know they've been 1,600. All right. See, like I like that a lot because Belgium to me is like, I don't know, Buddy and VD. This is their last tournament with these guys, in my opinion. Like where it's Lukaku, the Hazard, that generation. Like, they've gotten close. They made a semifinal. 1,600 is a fucking solid number. I didn't know that.
I gotta side with my guy. I got to side with my guy, Young Leg, here on this. I think Belgium's dead. I think they're dead. I think last tournament was their last chance.
Okay.
I agree with VD. I get hyped up for Belgium every year. I'm always on the Belgium train, but I think besides for De Bruyne, it's over for them.
If they get 7 points in the group though, and they look good, you'd be like, oh yeah, they at one point they were supposed to be this. So I think it's a fair number. I think it's a fair number. I think it's a very fair number.
Nice number.
Yeah,
1,600.
They were valued around 800, 900, probably not. Some other things before I get to that. One prop, it's kind of wild. It's lowest scoring team. So obviously you're going to do a team that's not going to advance because obviously you're not going to score in advance. I have Australia plus 1,100. Kind of a good story. They're probably going to be playing a lot of defensive ball. Plus 1,100. I think there's a couple teams that are going to finish at 1. So I'll take Australia here plus 1,100. Kind of a good story. Good for them getting back to the World Cup. They ain't scoring. So give me that.
That's a tough group. France, Denmark, and Tunisia. And we're going back to the climate, the African. Tunisia is a sneaky, decent team. So yeah, if Australia doesn't score against France or Denmark, and then they have to play you're right. Yeah, that's a plus 1,100. Solid bet.
How does penalties work with that? Like if a game goes to penalties,
great
how does
question.
that work?
A goal's a goal. A goal's a goal.
That's
however
risky.
it goes in, own goal, penalty.
Then even if you pick a bad team that's not scoring and they go to penalties and they score even just 3 goals.
But this is the group stage.
That's not how it works, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's one.
No. Group stage. So it won't go to penalties in the group stage.
And not
but
in the
VD's
group stage.
Not in the group stage. So, but in the next round, let's say it's 0-0, they go to penalties. Whoever wins the penalties gets a credit for 1 goal in that game.
But odds are, if you're going to win this prop, your team's not advancing.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
yeah.
I'm not worried about that. And my biggest play, obviously, I love the United States, but we'll get into that too, I'm sure. If you guys haven't gotten it too deep. I have them to get out of the group. I'm going to put 3 units on that because I think that's kind of like their Super Bowl. Plus, it's ridiculous how what their odds are to win it all. It's not realistic, but they're just putting that line there because God forbid if they did, there's going to be so many people. Now the game is legal here and the books would get fucking – you thought Mattress Mac was bad? If USA somehow wins the World Cup, these books are looking bad here. So I got them getting out of the group, minus 105. Obviously, VD's other country of citizenship here is gonna, I think, clean house in this group. But getting out of the group minus 105 is a damn near pick. Why not? That's enough to get me interested the whole entire first round for the USA.
And they're the second most talented team in that group on paper. So minus 105 for the second most talented team, it's not a bad number at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. Some other things I like. Qatar to qualify in Group A. The other teams are the Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador. So all these teams kind of adapt to the climate pretty well outside of the Dutch. But plus 470, it's the home country. You might have some home cooking. This isn't Cameron Indoor. This isn't a bunch of angry, rich white kids yelling at you. If you get it wrong here, your wife could go missing. So the referees might be calling this game a little bit different. So give me Qatar to squeak out of this group plus 470.
Not bad. I got one for you. I didn't look up the odds. If you have it in front of you, Mike, that'd be great. What's Canada to get out of that group?
Plus 280. It's not in front of me, but I saw it.
Plus 280. That group intrigues me, boys. That's Belgium, Canada, Morocco, Croatia. So that's a tough group. Don't get me wrong. But I just I don't know. The climate, the Canadians adapting to that. But that's a talented fucking team.
I would say they have 2 of the top 8 most talented players in that group. Maybe 2 of the top 6. Between Jonathan David and
no.
What are you talking about?
No.
You
could name 6 people more talented on Belgium than Jonathan David. Jonathan David is a fine player, but you could name 6 people more talented.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could right now. What?
Thibaut
So
Courtois?
De Bruyne. Well, I guess you wouldn't take him.
De Bruyne.
I take De Bruyne. Hazard when he's healthy.
Oh,
Lukaku.
Lukaku.
No, not Romelu. This ain't 2014. No, I'm not
better than
Lukaku.
Actually, I don't know if I disagree. That's fair.
You also have Luka Modric on Croatia.
Yeah, no, he's
Modric
in there. Fair.
Modric, right? Kovacic,
And what's Davies' health? I saw something the other day that was a little scary that they were hoping he'd be ready or something like that. So that's.
I thought it said he was going to play.
All right, so he is going to play. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
He's top 8 guaranteed.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I like Jonathan David. So if their midfield can hold up and their defense can be formidable, you got those guys up top. I mean, they can run right by and put some balls in the back of the net. 280 is not enough though. I was thinking they'd be around 400. People would downplay them. Seems like the bookmakers are kind of on them. Plus 280 was not enough to make me take them. So that's why I kind of went there with Qatar.
I think it's too early for Canada, in their development. It might be the next cycle or whatever.
They're just happy to be here right now.
No, I know. Exactly. It's their first time
it
being there in a while. I'm hoping because I hate them because they're our neighbor or whatever. But but I don't think it happens for them.
Yeah, so we just mentioned. I actually have a pretty solid money wise bet on this. That's Group F we're just discussing. I have Croatia to win Group F plus 230. Obviously, Belgium are the favorites minus 150. Bunch of white people on both these teams are going to be struggling with the weather, so that kind of neutralizes it. But I think they're better than Morocco, and I think they're better than Canada. Croatia plus 230, I think I'd rather have Croatia win the group than Canada to advance plus 280, and the odds aren't that different.
Okay, interesting. Any goal scorer props or anything like that the people can jump on?
Nothing really jumped off. Neymar is way too high valued. I think Neymar could lead it in assists, but no, nothing. Honestly, I also like Uruguay plus 3,800 to maybe win it all. So that means Suarez would be putting some balls in the back of the net. So I would take maybe a look at Suarez, but nothing really jumped out to me. Lukaku, I think, is still overvalued. Nothing really worthwhile. So I did stay away from that. But I like Uruguay as kind of the dark horse plus 3,800, and the Dutch, as I always do, just kind of a pastime of mine, taking them plus 1,200.
Plus 1,200. All right. So let's get into. I want to transition real quick to USA. All right. So you're a big, USA guy. Your Mexican video after the Gold Cup is still one of the funniest fucking things I've ever seen in my life.
Can't find that. It was 5 Twitters ago.
Yeah, it's hilarious when you trolled the Mexican people that night. What jumps out at you, USA, as far as who are you most worried about? What do you think happens in this tournament? Do they crash again after not making it? Is that the biggest worry? What's going on there?
This team doesn't right now. They don't have a personality. They don't have a bulldog. Last time in the World Cup was a long time ago. Jermaine Jones, was ready to fucking rip somebody's head off all the time. Clint Dempsey up top, good player, quality player, was also ready to fucking rip your head off at any moment.
Good
Even
points.
Bradley was kind of okay. This team way more talented than the last team that made it.
Yes.
But they just don't have that backbone. They'll go into fucking Honduras, and a bunch of angry Hondurans will scare them. They'll have the ball 38% of the time, and they'll lose 1-0. Like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. There's so much talent on the field. If you're playing FIFA, you'd rather play with this team. But this ain't FIFA. This is the real world. I don't know. The jerseys fucking suck too. That bothers me. Those jerseys look good, play good. They look horrible. These are the players are clowning them. How this got greenlit is an even bigger problem.
Well, it's USA Soccer, Mike. It's USA Soccer. It's the dumbest organization in the
all
world.
white dudes, like,
good God,
it's the dumbest organization in the world.
My God. So I don't feel great about it. I don't feel great about this team. I think getting out of the group would be good enough for me. I don't expect much more than that, and I think it will. I think it'll be very tough. Iran's gonna obviously park the bus against us, and then we've been hitting the counters in friendlies. I don't know. I don't feel fantastic about it. I feel pretty shitty about this team heading into it. I just wish there was a guy. We had a bulldog who, he's good for a yellow card each game. He's can control the tempo, and then when something's happens, he'll stick his nose in there. Who's that guy right now?
I think you're underselling Tyler Adams like a little bit. I'm not saying he's a tough guy, but I think he's pretty good
young.
at that. No, I don't disagree with you, but I think he's pretty good at that. My concern, I don't know if you agree with this, is like, where do the goals come from? Because they have a talented team, but like, who scores the goals? I don't.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we have some BMD notes. Like, he wasn't impressed by like the strikers. Like, if he came on, he was going to talk about that. Like,
at all.
But I don't know, who do you pick over Haji, right? Like, P-Folk is scoring goals. Pepe's kind of scoring goals, but like, we know that they don't really work.
Pepe not making the team is a fucking travesty. I'd like to say that. A fucking travesty.
I don't agree with that at all.
I'm okay.
Well, you'd rather have Jesus Ferreira. I'm sorry, buddy. Like, I mean, Pepe has 5 goals.
I'd rather have, but they're different positions. Ferreira's not a striker. He's more of an attacking midfielder. He's more of a winger. He's not gonna be up top.
No, but like,
he is up top. He's a starting 9 right now. He's a starting 9 right now.
What they give you is different. Like, you play differently with them. Like, if you play Pepe, you play like whatever, like in the air.
And Jesus Ferreira hasn't played a game since fucking October. Since October.
Yeah, that's hard to argue. But he's like was maybe the best player in MLS this season. Like,
keep it on mute.
Like, I just like don't know who you play. Like so I think BMD was upset about the Haji Wright pick, but like, who would you rather have as like that target number 9?
Right.
Yeah,
I'd rather play. I'd put it this way. I'd rather play no striker. I'd rather play no striker. Play your best attacking players.
Haji Wright has a good rapport with that team, like that good USA core. Like,
Pulisic, he does. They came up together. The thing that bothers me about USA, and a lot of these games are meaningless. Gold Cup, all this shit's meaningless. But what that should be for is seeing young players and kind of building a core, building a foundation, building a system. You'll see 8 different friendly games in the USA and see 8 different formations. Fucking figure it out, you Scott.
Figure it out.
I hate Berhalter. Get a system. There should be, if you know USA Soccer, hey, we're going to hit with a 4-4-2. This is what we want in the back. This is what up top. Every game, here's a 5-1. You're like, what the fuck are we doing? So
he'll change shit mid-game. It's
chaotic.
Crazy.
It's chaotic. It's chaotic. You can't do that.
Teams with no identity in the World Cup, it doesn't go well.
You get
exposed. It does not go well.
You can have less quality, but if you have an identity and a way you play, then like, the South Koreans, you're going to make a run. You got to be worried about a manager that's switching formations that much and just has no idea. It's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of weakness.
So really quick, VD, if people don't know, he is an American, but he's an England fan. He has dual citizenship. He roots for England in these tournaments. He will be rooting for England on Black Friday. When USA plays England, he'll be rooting hard for England. Does the USA? You look so calm today, VD. Before the start, like, we're talking USA, we're getting riled up. Do they even scare you one bit that day? Do you think they can pull a point, or do you think that's going to be just a bloodbath?
No, they don't scare me. The moment's too big for them. Just honestly, they don't scare me. But I'm a delusional hater of American football, probably more than I am even a fan of England. Like, I love England, but I love watching America suffer more. And
if BMD was here right now, he'd attack you. He'd attack you.
Like, the same way I said I feel bad about Manchester United losing now because of Buddy. I feel every time I do a tweet about USMNT, I think of BMD before I do it, and I peel it back a little bit. A little bit.
So I know I said this last time. But England has never beaten the United States when it counts. Like not 1950, not 2010. They've just never done it. So
it's a fair point, but I still just can't be worried about him. I just can't be.
Yeah, I still think like, and I did out like a whole bracket, and I like just just what happens if USA wins the group. There's no way they win that group. I think they squeak out like last game of the group and maybe get like second. But yeah, I'm like cautiously optimistic for Black Friday.
So I agree with a lot. I agree a lot with Montante. So it's Matt Turner. Zach Steffens didn't make the team.
Yeah.
Steffens,
he's a frog.
Zach Steffens sucks. Him going to Man City proves going to a big club is not always a good thing.
Yeah, and I mean, I know. Sorry, young leg. Zach Steffens sucked. I was right.
Young leg's in despair. He's in despair.
In despair. I was right months ago. He didn't even make the fucking team. He didn't even make the team.
Who's our backup? Evan Horvath?
Yeah, Horvath is nasty. I like him a lot.
God.
I like him a lot.
Ooh, that's not good. I'd rather have Sean Johnson, for being honest. But
he's there too, yeah.
He's third. That's who made the team.
Yeah. Well, I feel like just to bring him along, just to solidify him, I would bring that young kid who played in the MLS, the 17-year Slonina.
Yeah.
Bring him just for the trip. Slonina, that kid's the future. But yeah, Stefan, what a flop. He's on loan now, Middleborough, I believe.
I honestly, I would like young leg to like send out a tweet apologizing to me after when I saw Stephenson make. I didn't even tag him. I'm leaving him alone. But I really do think, out of the goodness of his heart, he should be like, Daver was right. Like, honestly,
no, he still doesn't think you're right. He's furious. He's
like
furious.
to go from the clear-cut starter to not making the team in like 5 months is banana land.
It's hard
that
to
one
do.
game murdered him, dude. Whatever. I don't even remember who it was. Uruguay? No, I mean, oh dang, who no, wasn't.
It was Honduras or El Salvador where he just let in that fucking clunker, dude.
Yeah, he's a frog, dude. He's a chicken.
For the FA Cup.
No,
that one was bad too. Yeah,
that was against Arsenal. That was the FA Cup. Yeah, that was really bad. Yeah, so I think that to go back to Montante's point, I think, buddy, you agree too, and that's my biggest takeaway as well, Mike. This team is the most talented team, soccer-wise, football-wise, that we've ever seen for the United States ever. Okay, European players everywhere, just talented. There is no heart. Every other USA team had. Like you said, listen, we weren't talented, but we parked the bus, we'd hit you on the counterattack, and we were going to fight you the whole way through. This team doesn't have that spirit, and that's what's scary.
I don't know. I don't agree with you, but I don't know that you're wrong. Like, because I think that like they're going to prove you wrong, like in this tournament, and they're going to play hard and like try to.
I hope so. I hope so.
Yeah, maybe I should say I hope not. I think. But what I've said from the beginning, like, I mean, since we started False9, started talking about the World Cup, like, this World Cup is so important, like, for the next World Cup. Like, so they have to come here, see how hard it's going to be. Obviously, again, we said it 10,000 times today, we can stop saying it. The desert changes a lot, but like, you're going to like a place where it's not easy to play against people who don't like you. And like, how hard, like, you're going to see how hard it can be. And then you get in 4 years, you get to play at home. And like, you have to be ready, like, for that to happen. You know, like, you have to be ready to play in the Rose Bowl.
So
that's all this is for. This is just this is the preseason for 4 years, because these guys will be in their prime, where they have enough experience, but are still athletically enough to be in their prime. That 4 years is everything. So if you can somehow get to the round of 16, beautiful.
So Mike, that's super important though. Like, there's getting out of the tournament, not making the second round. If you do it where you're playing well, let's say you get a point against England or something bad happens to you. And then there's like, I'll never forget against, I think it was 98 in France. Steve Sampson was the coach. 0-3, blown out every game, lost to fucking like 3-0 to Iran, if I'm not mistaken. And that was just like the lowest moment, I believe. If that's something like that happens going into this cycle where we're hosting, that's bad. Like, it's very important to at least look competent coming into this cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, that's everything. And the other question I have, what's the back four look like as of now? Like, does anybody have a fucking clue? Even outside of the center back, I still don't know who the wing backs are. It was Anthony Robinson left, and right back's going to be.
It's going to be Dest. No, it's going to be Dest.
Serginho? Because that's the other thing that pisses you off about Burr. He's playing Serginho all over the place. I saw Serginho giving out hot dogs last game. Where is Serginho Dest playing?
Well, that's the beauty of Serginho Dest, though. Like that, you have a player like that, you can play him on the left.
Yeah,
or
but
right
let's
back.
not. Let's just give him a position for the next 15 years.
You act like he changes. You act like he changes it so much. He doesn't change anything.
He's been attacked. I've seen him right wing.
But like. Yeah, but I don't think that's that big of like if he's playing right wing and the end of a match because somebody's playing behind him, like Shaq Moore's playing behind him, and he's playing depth. Like I don't think that's that crazy.
Well, I want him on the same.
But he always plays his back four. He always plays his back four. He always plays Adams, Musa, and Adams, Musa, and McKinney, right? So like
that's got to be
changes.
it. That's the key to the team.
Yeah.
I think I got news for you. I think Yunus Musa is the most impactful player heading into this.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
He's
Michael.
He's going to be $100 million. He could be $100 million player.
If he has a big tournament, he breaks out big time. Yes, 1,000%. 1,000%.
Who are center backs then? Is it like going to be a Walker, Zimmerman, Aaron Long?
No, it's going to be Zimmerman, Ream, I bet. Because Tim Ream is so good right now.
Did you see what that quote that
Yep.
Right?
I've seen it.
He said if you're like 10 years younger, whatever, you'd be on my team, not on fucking Fulham.
Yes, yeah. So after the Fulham game, Pep went up to Tim Ream and said like he would have bought him if he was 10 years younger. And Tim Ream's only reply was, "Oh, I'm not 34, I'm 35." Which is kind of like being an asshole. But...
Great quote. Yeah, because he's been in the championship for so long. I think he was on Bolton. He's just been struggling over there. Fulham, they were bad, and he's a very solid player. I don't despise Aaron Long, but I feel like the player that gets more disrespect than anybody is World Cup goal scorer John Brooks. They fucking kicked him to the curb, tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know
what he did. I don't know what he did because he's the perfect guy for that left center back role. Like he has
experience.
Yeah, he makes the most progressive passes, all these things, like everything you want in that role. He does it the best. But he like must have Greg, like they say, he must have like Berhalter's like nudes or whatever, or did something bad to him, and like Berhalter's just like, nah, fuck you. Like he's like, I don't know.
He's playing like MLS journeyman ahead of him. I was like, bro, what are we doing?
I know, like Weston McKennie fucked Kristen Pulisic and came back faster than whatever John Brooks did. I fucked Pulisic's sister, not Pulisic.
Whoa, buddy, whoa.
Maybe he did. Maybe he did. I don't know.
Maybe he did.
We're all friends.
Yeah. It's all love there. All right. So, Mike, final thoughts here on you. Does USA get out of the group? Yes or no?
USA get out of the group? Yeah, we do. It'll be England. I'll say England finishes with English will finish with what? 1 draw and 2 wins, so 7 points. We'll scrape by with 4 and get through on goal difference.
Goal differential. And then who's your tournament winner? I know you said money on Brazil. Do you have Brazil winning at all? Is that your pick?
Yeah, heavy, very, very, very heavy on plus 450. And like I said, I'm also gonna take pre-tournament new time first winner plus 220. Like I said, I just don't think between 450 plus 220, that's just made money there. You're gonna at least double your money. That's a very, very, very small chance that somehow does not win. I think that's the way to play this. All
right, Michael. Thanks for your time, buddy. Appreciate you. Good luck.
Hey, I'll come on the next one in 10 months when you guys need me.
All right.
And maybe you don't bump B and VD for your Montante's World next time. Great. Thanks.
True. Good point.
VD, thank you for responding.
Kick his ass out. Kick his ass
out. Bye. Oh, Montante. All fired up about Serginho Dest. Gotta love him.
I don't know. He's a simple boy. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, he is. He's a simple boy. He likes gambling and he likes right-wing politics. That's Montante's world. All right, so we're gonna get to the last part of the show. We'll skip the Mexico part. And ready, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, cool. All right, so boys, Buddy came up with a great exercise that I honestly fucking spent way too much time this week fucking working on. But it's really fun, and honestly, I think what we're doing is me, VD, and Buddy are going to pick our favorite 11. But the rule is, and for you folks out there, check it out, have some fun doing it, is you can only use a player from one country. Right? Am I saying that wrong? How am I saying that? I fucked that up, right?
Nope, you did it right. You can
did it right.
Yep, one player from each country. Yeah, that's really it. That's really the only
way. You can't use a player from the same country twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So you do that and you come up with your starting 11. When I finally got mine, I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh, we're going to have a lot of the same players because, I mean, this team is fucking nasty, right? So I'm interested to see that. I'm interested to see, like, do we have, like, similar paths? And I will admit to mine, I have some nostalgia in my starting 11. Like,
Me too.
Mine is biased. Mine's biased. Mine's very biased, okay? Mm-hmm. So I want to point that out.
I have a question for both of you. who was the first person that you put down right away where you're like, they're on it no matter what? This country, I don't care who else they have. This is the first person I'm putting in my 11.
I mean, I'm going to let you guess mine.
Ronaldo.
Yeah, done.
That's so pathetic. That's so
what do you want me to do?
You have a civic duty to do that.
Dude. Like, it's his last World Cup. I'm not putting him on my 11, dude. I started there. Now, listen, when I came down to it at the end, there was a player that's off that I really wanted that I would have had to switch. You know, it's João Cancelo. Not having João Cancelo on this team hurts my heart. It really does. It hurts my heart. Yep. Yeah, see? So, that's why –
he's not a tournament player.
All right, we'll see. But so that's the guy that I really wanted, but I was like, I can't take Ronaldo off this fucking.
My first name on the team sheet was Casemiro. Like he's the best holding midfielder in the world. He's the best holding midfielder in the world right now. Like
he's the best holding midfielder that's playing in this tournament for health. If I still say if Conte's healthy, I don't know. I'd argue that.
Who was your first name, BD?
My first name was Benzema, just because I love him. Right. I want him to succeed with France. I think he had like a weird history. I just like watching him score. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you wanted to honor young Leg?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
so that's the first player that BD names is the first repeat player, because also honoring young Leg, I have Benzema up top on my team.
I feel like you have to.
Yeah. He's fucking golden ball winner right now. I mean, Ballon d'Or. Like, come on, like he's the best.
Yeah. All right. So, do we want to go by like position? Like, I'll name a goalie, then you guys name your goalie. Or do you want to list like the whole
we'll
team?
Do back line, and then we'll do midfielder. Yeah, I think it's good to go back to front. Yeah.
Back to front, and then now listen. Did anyone do a different formation? I did a 4-3-3.
That's what I did.
I'm 3 at the back.
Ooh, I love it, VD.
Yeah.
Classy. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So I'll start it off. Let's kick it off. My goalkeeper is going to be the breakout goalkeeper of this tournament, and it is Matt Turner.
Oh, okay. I took Poland's keeper Wojciech Szczesny.
Okay.
VD?
I took Keylor Navas. I will say this is the last part that I filled in. I had a lot of other keepers, but I kept just scratching them off and being like, you know what? There's enough good keepers to go around where I don't need to use a premier country on my keeper. I probably would have had Ederson, but you know what? I'm not wasting,
So VD, same thought process. That's why I went with USA. I was like, all right, there's really no one else on this team that I would put in my 11. So let me get, and I want an American player. Once again, the bias is there. So I was like, let me get Matt Turner on this team.
That's right. It was Wojciech Szczesny or Momo Ochoa for me, because I'm just like, he's just a great tournament player. Yeah. Like it doesn't waste a
fun
pick.
to watch.
All right, so let's go to left back. So my left wing, I'm playing a 4-3-3, and I'm going wing back. So I want my guys flying up the fucking corridors. I got Alphonso Davies from Canada.
Do your whole back line. Do your whole back line. I think.
A whole back line, okay.
Yeah.
So Davies from Canada, Virgil van Dijk from Holland, Rudiger from Germany, and then my right back is Hakimi from Morocco.
Nice.
I feel like we're all gonna have Hakimi.
Oh no! So I have João Cancelo, and then then like David, I have Virgil van Dijk and Alphonso Davies. And then my left center back is Lisandro Martinez, because like how could you not have?
There's no bias there at all. No,
he's the best left center back in the world.
I will say he was on my list at one point early on in the process, and he did get bumped, but he did make my list at one point in an early version. I also have Alphonso Davies. I have Koulibaly. I have Marquinhos, Rudiger, and Hakimi.
Oh, nice. Yep. Oh, because of back five. Yep.
Back five. Okay.
Yeah. So they're my wing backs, and then obviously the 3 in the middle.
The 3 center backs. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, VD. I like V. So VD's playing strong up the center, and you're definitely going to have your guys. Your wing backs are basically going to be playing attacking football, almost midfield.
Pretty much. Yeah.
All right. So you already said it.
No, I have one question.
Sure.
For both of you, because you both have Van Dijk. You don't think that, this isn't the same Van Dijk that we know that's been playing recently. This is not the same Van Dijk.
1,000%.
Yeah, that went into my thought process a lot, but it's a slower game. Him paired with Lisandro Martinez, like like in my team like will help like keep him organized. And having Martinez, I need somebody that can win the ball in the air. So I was debating between him and Varane. Honestly, like I was just going to take the whole United back four if De Gea made it. I was going to take them because they're operating so well. But I wanted to switch and take Benzema, so I slid Van Dijk. And I also debated a lot Akanji, the other City center back. Well, I mean, I don't think anybody picked Stones. I didn't have to say that, but I debated him a lot too. But I just thought Van Dijk's height would probably help my club, or help my team. But yeah,
a lot of experience there. I see the pick, but I just want to know that this isn't the same Van Dijk.
1,000%. I have him with Rudiger. I figure cover any mistakes, like kind of what Buddy said. Like he's faster. Van Dijk wins balls in the air, and then just also it's a tournament, and I just feel like also he's good at scoring goals in that situation as well too. And Holland, I feel like I needed a player from Holland. There's no one else that really jumped out at me, so that came into play too. Is countries and positions as well. Yeah. So that's why I went there. So I think me and Buddy
I would have probably had Reece James if he wasn't injured. So I'll give him an honorable mention. He probably makes my squad if he's healthy.
I almost put in ahead of Hakimi.
Who?
Trent Alexander-Arnold. I fucking love him, dude.
I love him. I have the same feelings I have about Cancelo. I have about Trent, where it's like tournament in a league. I think yes, play him, because if he loses you a game by being aggressive or out of position and playing his natural way, it's not the end of the world because it's a long season. But in a tournament, there's so few games and every point is so essential. It's a real gamble playing players like that.
So you're not wrong with that, but I just want my team to fucking be a swashbuckling, let's fucking go score some goals sort of team. And that fucking guy just is basically like a number 10 at right back.
As an attacking option, he's the best in the world for sure.
Yeah. For sure. But that was very close. And I'm like, man, he's like the third choice on the England team right now. That's like crazy,
Yeah.
So I think me and Buddy, let's move to the midfield. I'm playing a classic number 6 holding midfielder with 2 attacking options in front of him. So I think me and Buddy have the same guy. I went with Casemiro. I went Casemiro. Yes. With Conte out, he is the best number 6 in the world. And I think he links up my defense with now my 5 attacking options that I'm going to be running at you. So, VD, do you have anyone different there?
Yeah. You want just my whole midfield? I'll give you.
Yeah, go ahead. Give us the whole midfield.
I'll give you. So I have Ruben Neves playing.
Of course.
That was my number 2 guy on the list. Happy to burn my Portugal pick there. There's a lot of Portuguese players I considered, but for me, I mean, I'm so biased. I love him so much. I think he's
such a classy player. Yeah.
He's the right age to have a breakout tournament. He doesn't get to play around supreme quality that often, so I'm excited to see what he's going to do. And then up in front of him, I have De Bruyne, who obviously speaks for himself. I mean, somehow he's gotten, I think, even better in like the last year.
It really
I remember watching the Euros and he was hurt and he was struggling early. And I thought, man, that's the last we're ever going to see of him. He's kind of finished. And what he's done at the end of the tournament and then since then has been incredible. He is so fun to watch. I think he's one of the best players in the world. And then
his weighted passes are fucking magic. Dude. They're just magic.
And he has, like, earlier we were talking about that dog. He's got it in him. He's playing with every ounce of intelligence he has and every ounce of effort he has at all moments. He just sees the game so beautifully. And then alongside him, I'm going to have Modric. So a lot of the same praise I give to KDB, I'm going to give to Modric. Yeah.
The same. I have the same midfield except Casemiro. So I have Casemiro, Modric, De Bruyne.
I also have De Bruyne.
It's a holy trinity right there. It's the holy trinity, bro.
But my ball winning like center midfielder, or like the guy who's gonna do the work, the guy who I think is gonna like do this very well for the United States is Yunus Musa, because I think he's one of the best ball carrying center midfielders like in the world. Like I really think he's $100 million player, or gonna be. Like he's so good. And I like you see him do even for Valencia, you see him do things like carrying the ball that like most other midfielders can't do. I think that with him combining with Casemiro and De Bruyne will add like a nice like element to the squad. But
all right, so you're Casemiro, De Bruyne, Munsa. I'm Casemiro, De Bruyne, Modric, VD is Nev's Modric, De Bruyne as well.
Mhm.
Very similar
Yep.
stuff. Very similar
Very
stuff.
similar.
All
Who do you have
right.
up
So
top, David?
my top three, obviously, I already named Ronaldo. That was my talesman. He's my number 9. Next to him, I've always wanted to see them play together. I don't give a fuck. I got Messi. Playing right next to Ronaldo on the right wing. And then down the left wing, I got my young stud, my man, Ronaldo's his hero. I got Kylian Mbappe coming down
So
the left
overrated.
wing.
I was gonna-
He doesn't like playing. Listen, he doesn't like playing without a striker. So he's got Ronaldo as his striker. With France, he's gonna have Benzema as a striker. So that's what's scary about them. So yeah, give me a Messi, Ronaldo, and Mbappe front line.
I really had Mbappe in my team for a while, and I'm like, you can't come on this show where you always.
I was
call him
gonna
a fucking fraud.
I was gonna kill you if you had him. I was gonna kill you.
So I have Benzema. So I wanted to kind of like diversify my front line a little bit. Like it's not really a great way to say it, but I also have Sadio Mane, who I think is going to do more work than most of the other attackers that I have. And then on the right side, I have the guy that I think at the end of this tournament could lead like all-time World Cup goal scoring, Thomas Muller, too, as well. Like, so it'll be Muller, Benzema, and Sadio Mane up front for us.
Okay.
I like
VD?
that. You get the experience of the old dog up there. The Germans, they're clinical tournament.
Clinical. World Cup wise too. Yeah.
He could be 38. It doesn't matter. He might score 9 goals. You just just right place, right time.
It's just what they do, man. It's what they do.
Yeah. And like we were saying about,
really like that pick.
Thank you. But like we were saying about Ronaldo, like I'm hoping he can in this team. You know, he scores the first 35 minutes, puts in a good performance, and is like, but his backup on my team sheet is Youngman's Son, and let Son run at somebody for like 25 minutes. You know, and just take care of that. So
yeah.
VD, who do you got?
Up front for me, I already said we all know I have Benzema, and then playing up there with them, I have Kane. I had to have an English player. If you're gonna have an English player, it kind of has to be Kane. Honorable mentions to Son for sure. I would have liked to have Son, but I got to go with Kane. I think he's a threat in the air. He can play ugly. He can kill a lead if you get up. If you want to play ugly like England does, he can get up and kill a lead. Just hold the ball up. Plays physical, plays hard.
Mm-hmm.
And
I think him and Benzema actually too as well. They're strikers, but they're not like that classic hold. Like they'll both drop into midfield and both like run at you as well too. Like that's the beauty of both of their games, in my opinion, is that they're not just stodgy. Like, oh, we're number 9s and we're just gonna. They're not Ruud Van Nistelrooy. Is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah, great point.
They're going to do the dirty work.
Yep. All right. So who is your biggest omission then? I guess, and then we'll end it there. Who's the guy that you feel bad about leaving out the most?
So for me, I just think it's like me, like kind of like being a snob. For me, it's like Moises Caicedo, the kid who plays for Brighton. I think he's so good. I didn't know like where I could fit him into my midfield. I wanted to use him to be trendy kind of, but I'm like I like Yunus Musa more, and he's more of a number 6, and I wasn't going to take anybody over Casemiro. So, what about you?
I think my biggest omission, I said it's João Cancelo. I just think he's going to have a fucking big tournament. I think, VD said, he missed the Euros with injury, with the fucking fake COVID. That bullshit, that still fucking bothers me. That's disgusting, okay? Yeah. So this is his first big tournament. I think he's a great player. I think him down the right wing with Portugal, with like Bernardo Silva, I think they combine great being with City teammates. So I think you're going to see like a great connection. So that pains me to leave him off my team. I think that's my biggest omission.
I remember what I wanted to ask Josh about Rafa Leao, but never mind. It's too late.
All right. Too late now.
My biggest one who I had on the list and took off a few times was Lewandowski a couple times. I mean,
me too. I'm
kind of shocked he's on nobody's team. He's a little bit out of form, but I mean, things are different when you're playing for country. He scores.
VD,
I mean, he just fucking scores.
VD, if I switched it, which I almost did this morning, I was going to take Ronaldo off. I would put Cancelo on my right back, and Lewandowski would have been my tailsman up front next to Messi and Mbappe. That was my second choice.
That's nice.
Honestly, I was going to leave Kane off and have him, but I was like, I got to have an English player. I'll get killed if I don't.
I had Kane like the whole time, and then I just I wanted to get again, I wanted to change it because I'm like, oh, everybody's going to have Kane. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll take Bukayo Saka, but I'm like, he's he's not better right now than Rashford. I'm like, well, I'm not taking fucking Rashford. And I was like, yeah, I'll just put Kane as my backup center striker. Then fuck it, I don't care. Like, so I just got him back there. But that was a tough decision too. Because like you said about him, like he'll do everything, like and including like give up goals. Like he doesn't give a shit who scores. Like he wants to win games. So like I love watching him play.
Yeah, Son was tough to leave off for me too.
Yeah,
go ahead.
Son and now that you said Mane, like I almost want to take Messi out and put Mane in because that, like Ronaldo's surrounded by those two speedsters, Mbappe and Mane. Woo, woo. But it's like if this is like my dream team, I just always want to see Ronaldo and Messi play. Like I was low key rooting for like a Ronaldo transfer to PSG this summer, just to actually see it happen in real time.
I thought PSG might pay, so I was like, please.
Yeah, exactly. All right, boys. So listen, let's end the show on this. We're over an hour. That kind of hit our mark. Let's end it with our World Cup winner. Okay, like our dream. Like if you want to go with your dream pick, or do you want to go with a realistic pick? I do want to end the show with who you think actually takes the trophy. Either one of you want to start?
Go ahead, buddy.
So I wrote out. I did this bracket a long time ago, but so I have my final as Brazil, Portugal, and I think if that happens, I think like Portugal edges out like little brother, even though Brazil is really big brother in this world. But I think this is like it all happens for Ronaldo, and Portugal wins the World Cup. I know I sound like fucking your boy. Oh my god,
you sound like Phil. You sound like Phil right now.
But I think
that's a shout out Phil Rogers' dream scenario right there.
I just don't think like Montati was saying about Brazil. Like I understand it being a safe bet, but like they always find a way to fuck it up. Like this class, like
I don't know how they're the favorites. I'm shocked by that. Yeah, go ahead, VD.
I mean, this is going to be my Homer Phil moment too, but I really think England has a good shot. Like, I really do. I think it's going to be a lot of ugly games. It's going to be hot. People are tired. They have the right amount of youth. I worry about the back line a little bit, but I like the balance of youth. I don't think there's a clear and away favorite like going into this where it's like World Cup or bust. It's not a World Cup or bust team in this tournament.
And one thing I like about England, like, is just like you said, a lot of talent. Josh touched on it when we talked about Portugal. But like maybe like Kane excluded, but if they do play Saka and Mount like up top or however, or I guess Mount would be the 10. But they have quality guys that they can put in, even if they're not at the level of the starters. They have great quality that they can just move in, and like it should just be a well-oiled machine that just keeps pumping out like goals and protecting the back three. Like that's really the way it should work for them.
So, VD, to jump on you, this is the most open World Cup that in our lifetime. Okay, like you just said, there's not one or two teams that usually going into it, it's like, all right, in the end, you know that these guys are going to be, they're probably going to win. As we've said, it's very limited countries that have won this tournament. I've never seen Brazil being a favorite. I'm not that impressed. France being number 2. Here's a stat for you. No one's ever won back-to-back World Cups since Brazil did it in 58 and 62. Okay, so France won the last one. I think they're the most talented team, but all the Pogba stuff and the Benzema, you said, he's coming back to the national team after what, kidnapping and shit like that. Wild stories there. Go Google that. Go Google that, guys. I don't see a back-to-back winner. So it's the most open one. I would love for Portugal. I don't see it. I can't see it. I just think visually.
There's like a way, like where there's like what I did in my bracket. Portugal wins the group. Then they play Cameroon. Like that's a tough game, but they can win that. They can win that match. Then it's Belgium. I had Belgium, Costa Rica. Like maybe that's wrong. Like in that match, who knows? Mm-hmm. But anyway, it's probably going to be Belgium, Portugal. Not out of the world of like the realm of possibilities that Portugal beats Belgium there. Then they're playing in the semifinal versus maybe England, maybe France, maybe the United States, maybe Poland. They're gonna
buddy, I think Josh made a great point. They got to win that group. I think winning the group is key. If not, you're probably facing Brazil in the round of 16. So winning the group is essential. I'm just gonna go back
to win that group either. Like that's a tough group, dude. I know, I think they do probably win it, but I can see Serbia nabbing a point or whatever. It's a tough game for everybody, dude.
I don't know. I think Brazil's win that group. That'd be a shocker.
I'd be afraid of the Serbians if it wasn't in the desert. I think that
in the desert.
That's a fair point.
So VD's gonna hate this pick because of the desert. He keeps going on with the weather, but I just think that when it comes down to it, Germany figures a way out. Only because if France is like my most talented team, I just don't think you win back-to-back World Cups. I think that's extremely odd, and there's a lot going on with France. And Conte being out, that's a big loss. I just gonna go
Yeah,
back
but
to
they're
old
so
reliable.
deep there, dude. And there's
Yeah, I know, I know.
They have 3 guys that can play that like who it's Conte, Tuchemani, I don't know how to say the guy from Real Madrid's name, or Camavinga can all play that role. They're still really talented there.
So I'm just gonna go back to like I just see
It's
an
a
old
nice
reliable
safe pick. Just safe, you know, it's probably the safest. They should probably always be the favorite. Like
I feel like last time we saw Germany, they weren't playing well, but like
exactly.
But everybody's in form now, right? Like Narby's in form. Musela's in form. Like everybody.
And it's a tournament fucking team. It's just a tournament team. It's just they know how to do it. They know how to do it.
Like I said, Thomas Muller 6 goals away from tying Miroslav Klose, and then 7 he'll take the lead for most World Cup goals. Right?
Imagine those 2 guys have the most 2 World Cup goals. That's hilarious.
If they go on a run, that's how it happens, right? Like
that is.
It's gotta be him.
Yeah. But rooting for Portugal, but just my head tells me it's Germany. All right, boys. Any last thoughts before we go? We're at an hour and 20 right now, I believe.
That's it. USA wins the group.
USA wins the group. Fuck you, VD.
I'll see you on Black Friday.
Yeah.
See you on the timeline.
All right, VD. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it, boys. All right, buddy. Later, man.